Good morning. Welcome to the midweek edition of your current affairs program and the breakfast show on Leadership Television. My name is Unifred Webo. Today is August 28th, 2024. And of course, on today's program, we are only going to be looking at front headline stories of some select newspapers. We have Nigeria's most influential leadership, The Punch, Daily Sun, Vanguard, and The Guardian, all for review on today's program. As usual, we start with leadership. Let's see what leadership is leading with. Leadership's main headline story says diabetic patients panic as drugs prices rise by 800%. Diabetic patients panic as drug prices rise by 800%. Insulin rises to 26,000 naira from 3,000 naira. Glucometer 30,000 naira from 6,000 naira. And somebody says, I spend 200,000 naira monthly to manage my diabetes. Beneath that main headline story, we have illustrations. Nigerians spend $4.5 million on diabetes treatment yearly. 11.2 million living with diabetes in Nigeria. NNMDA offers hope of NAFDAC-approved herbal treatment. Experts urge strict adherence to dietary rules. Coalition warns against consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages. Illustrations beneath that leading story today on leadership. Diabetic patients panic as drug prices rise by 800%. Beside that, 53 killed by floods in Northeast. 14.6% of Nigerians abuse drugs, reports coming from NDLEA. Impulse, WHO appeals for funding. Biafra, federal government engaging EU to extradite Simon Ikpa, defense headquarters. We move gradually to the stories just beneath the masthead. End killings, kidnapping, banditry. Now, can Sultan urge Tinubu? And on the business boss of front page of leadership newspaper, PIA, that is Petroleum Industry Act, host communities demand increase of 3% funding allocation. And above the masthead of leadership, alleged terrorism financing, police quiz Ajero today. NAD strike, consultants, nurses overwhelmed, patients stranded. That continues on page 7 of leadership. And with that also we move to the page 3, permanent fixture in leadership newspaper. Our page 3 is our stand. Our stand is the editorial for that day on leadership. And today's editorial is on foreign markets for Nigeria's agro products. Foreign markets for Nigeria's agro products editorial. That takes us to the back page where we have Wednesday column with Olufunke Barowa. She's writing on how to get away with corruption. A nice read for today, how to get away with corruption. For more, you log on to the website of leadership for that column, editorial, inside stories, and continuation of the headline stories. www.leadership.ng. From leadership, we move over to the Punch. The Punch's main headline story today is on flights of fancy. Governor slammed for wasting 160 billion naira on unviable airports. Nasarawa UB orders beg federal government to take over airports shunned by airlines. Flights of fancy. Governor slammed for wasting 160 billion naira on unviable airports. Nasarawa UB orders beg federal government to take over airports shunned by airlines. Beneath that headline story, we have photo of children attending classes inside and outside a dilapidated building in Mocha, Yemen on Tuesday. Photos by AFP. You have children sitting on the floor, background in attending class outside a dilapidated building in Mocha. Beneath that, federal government states raise 100 billion naira for meter procurement. Police hunt gunmen for killing man abducting 2 in Nasarawa. NSCDC recovers Kano court property looted by protesters. Beside the masthead of the Punch, with current hardship, electorate won't vote APC. PDP chieftain. INEC rules out PVC collection by Proxy for Edo elections. Lagos Calabar Highway demolition, 100 landowners team up for fresh legal war. Lagos Calabar Highway demolition, 100 landowners team up for fresh legal war. Abure OT on collision course over Labour Party NWC tenure. External auditors to examine NNPC 2.6 trillion naira subsidy claim. The story runs on page 20 of the Punch. However, NNPC has consistently denied that it's paying subsidy. But today's story on the Punch says external auditors to examine NNPC 2.6 trillion naira subsidy claim. With that, we conclude review of front headline stories on the Punch today. For more, log on to the website www.punchng.com. From the Punch, we move over to Daily Sun. Daily Sun's news headline story says Army Chief Soldiers can be used to serve some interest. Army Chief Soldiers can be used to serve some interest. Beneath that, we have federal government names 23 managers for investment funds. Committee to design strategies for investment of $10 billion global funds. Edo INEC to conduct mock accreditation of voters to test run Beavers IREV September 10. Man LCCI fought MBS 3.19% second quarter GDP growth report. Man LCCI fought MBS 3.19% second quarter GDP growth report. Say impact on Fed by Nigerians. IMF projects 5% economic growth. Lagos Monarch sacks market committee over high cost of foodstuffs. Tinubu aims to strengthen Nigeria-China ties during September visit presidency. To meet Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping signed MOUs. Enugu at 33, Governor Umba as the Lord Founding Father's sacrifice. The story runs on page 30 of Daily Sun. Enugu at 33, Governor Umba as the Lord Founding Father's sacrifice. First Lady Governor's wife signed agreement to combat GBV. The story is on page 29 of Daily Sun. First Lady Governor's wives signed agreement to combat gender-based violence, GBV. The story is on page 29 of Daily Sun. And the last story is just the one beside the masthead of Daily Sun. Insecurity, federal government seeks Japan orders help. Sultan Khan raised concern over worsening situation. The story is on page 4 and 6 of Daily Sun. For more, log on to www.thesun.ng. The Guardian is next on our menu, and Guardian's main headline story says $48 per barrel production cost drowns 60% of Nigeria's oil earnings. $48 per barrel production cost drowns 60% of Nigeria's oil earnings. And beneath that, we have the Guardian's illustration. We have others. We have Nigeria, that is for OPEC producing oil countries. That is oil countries that are producing, that have crude. We have Saudi Arabia, Russia, USA, Iran, China, Mexico, Canada, UAE, United Kingdom, Norway, Kuwait, Nigeria, and we also have other countries as well. Production cost per barrel by country. We have Libya. Libya spends $1 for production cost. Iraq $10, between $10 and $20. Angola spends $20 for production cost. Brazil $35. Nigeria $48, Saudi Arabia $2.5, United States between $20 and $40, Iran spends between $10 and $15, Russia between $15 and $25, China between $35 and $40, Venezuela between $15 and $30, and UAE spends between $10 and $20. From all these illustrations, Nigeria spends more on production cost, as Nigeria spends $48. Nigeria's $10 per barrel production cost target is an aspiration undermined by insecurity, inefficiency, logistics, overhead costs, corruption, and regulatory challenges. Still on the review of front headline stories of The Guardian, 900 days on, CDHRO tax Sanwo-Olu on justice for late Bamise. Telephone service quality may drop as telcos consider load shedding. Marginalization, good governance or additional 18 states. Residents of Rivers community flee over fresh oil spill. Food insecurity, federal government banks on dry season farming as flood devastates northeast. Arrest, Nigerian CSOs unions urge to reject authoritarianism under Tinubu. Tinubu to meet Jinping over roadway projects orders. IMF hinges Nigeria's 3.1% economic growth outlook on stronger reforms. With that, we conclude the review of front headline stories on The Guardian today. For more, log on to www.guardian.ng. From The Guardian, we move to the last paper on our menu for review this Wednesday, and that is Vanguard. Vanguard's main headline story: agony in Southeast as kidnappers lay siege to communities. Agony in Southeast as kidnappers lay siege to communities. Tales of horror from Lokpanta Omunechi area. Lilu Osumongu houses in Iyala now called Sambisa of the Southeast. Gun battles rage almost daily in Okigwe. Oil bunkers trigger insecurity in Oguta area. Gunmen launch attacks from forests in Osu, Oguta, Awo, Omama. Horror tales from kidnappers then has ignited fear in citizens. Our experiences residents. We are tackling kidnapping, say state government orders. These are kickers to the main headline story on Vanguard today. Agony in Southeast as kidnappers lay siege to communities. COAS says army to review agricultural policy over food security. Labour Party NWC rejects Governor Oti's move to convene elective NEC. And in sports, controversy greets Labadia's appointment. He was imposed on us NFF board members, the men behind his hire. That takes us to the news above the masthead of Vanguard. Multiplicity of charges, orders hindering export from Nigeria. NSC stakeholders. Hashtag end bad governance. Federal government gets 17-point ultimatum. Insecurity, end the bloodshed. Can Sultan urge federal government. Flooding, death toll rises to 170, injured 2,000, displaced 205,000. And that also concludes the review of front headline stories on today's Vanguard. For more, log on to www.vanguardngr.com. And it's on this note we've come to the end of today's Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show on Leadership Television. For more, don't forget to join us same time, same station tomorrow for another fresh edition of the program. My name is Winifred once again, and yes, asking you to stay tuned on this station for news on this hour. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last